Hi guys, welcome to Selenium with C Hash training session 28. In today's session, you can learn how to handle static, nested, web or HTML table. So in previous session, you already learned how to handle normal HTML or web or data table. In today, you can learn how to handle table inside the table. So web, HTML or data table are often used in scenarios where user need to display the information in a tabular format. The data being displayed can be either in static or dynamic in nature. So static means the number of columns, rows, size will be constant in nature, whereas dynamics mean it can increase or decrease any point of time. A table consists of rows and columns. The table created for a web page is called a web tables. So first the table will be there, then table header or table body will be there, which will contains the header or the body of the tables, then table row, which is nothing but the tr, then the tables column, which is defined by the td. So normally user cannot identify the table with the help of id, xpath. It is not possible. So most of the time they need to create either selector or xpath. So better is that like we can use the xpath for identifying the tables, table header, table body, table row and table details, right? If we want to identify the tables and particular element, we can use find elements method, but if you want to get right that how many rows count or cell count, we need to use the find elements methods, right? So nested or inner tables are tables located within another table. So table will be there, right? There will be multiple row and column, and within a particular cell there can be again another table. So that is called nested or inner tables. Then see how we can handle those inner or nested table in real time. So this is the web page, right, where you can see if you open the web page, right. So this is the table is there, right, where there is 2 row, 1, 2 and 3 and this kind of stuff, and 2 column is also there. So this is the row 1 column 1, this is row 1 column 2, this is row 2 column 1 and this is row 2 column 2. But in the row 2 column 2 cell you can find there is another table there, right, where there is again 4 different cells, 2 row and 2 columns, so 2 cos 2 equal to 4 cell. Then questions will be that how we can handle the inner table, means table within a table. So this is the cell 4, right, 1 2 3 4. In the cell 4 there is again another table where 4 cell is containing, right. So how we can handle this table? So let's try to identify that how we can do the different transactions, right, how we can get that how many row is there, how we can read the different data, right, how we can read all the cells, all the row value, column value from the nested tables. So this is the URL, right, where we will be trying to open the URL so that nested table is visible, right. So first we are trying to create a object resistance for the WebDriver interface. We are maximizing the driver and we are trying to navigate to the URL. Now let's try to inspect the element and try to identify XPath for identifying any cell, right. So try to identify normal cell where nested table is not there. Just press Ctrl F. So this is, you can see the it is starting with the right. If you refer your table, right, so you can see this is the table, right. So it is starting with table, right. So let's press Ctrl F / table. You can see the whole table is getting highlighted. Then T body, right. Then you can go to the tr, right. So tr, you can see there is a 2 row, right, for the tr. 4 is there, so the tr means it will be 4 cells, right. So if you give tr1, so that it will be table 1, right. So now 2 rows is there because this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the first row, this is the second row. That's why you can navigate it, right. So tr1 and column is /td, okay, td. I can go to the column 2, so it will give me 2 values. You can see. That's why you can maybe identify, may go to the 1 here, otherwise it will be tough here. Still it is 2 element because it is nested table is there, right. So that is the reasons it might be difficult, right, to identify the column here. So anyway we can identify with the help of that one. Let's try to identify the column. So it will definitely give me the first column. So let's try to create a XPath here for the iWeb element. So it will be iWeb element. So say first cell, okay. So first cell equal to driver dot find element, right? Then you can identify with the help of XPath by dot XPath, and then here you can give XPath value, right? So that's why I can try to identify it, right? Identify element. Then I need to get the text, right? So the element dot text method to get the text of the method. So I need to store in some string variable, right? So here I can call string 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 first cell text equal to that one. Then I can print in the console. So console dot write line, then I can print it out, right, that value. Now let's try to run the code and let's see what is the value is getting printed out in the console. So this is the first cell value or not. So it is trying to launch the browsers. Once the browser is launched, so it will maximize the browser, it will launch the page. Once the page is fully loaded, it will try to identify the first cell and it will print the value from the first cell in the console. So let's go to the console and let's see what the value is being printed here. Okay, you can see here the one is getting printed, right? So it is taking the value from the first cell. Okay, so my code is working fine. Let's close it and let's try to close the page as well. Now next thing is that I already got the value from the cell from the outer table, but now if I want to handle the inner table, then how can I handle that, right? So first you need to go to the table and table body. After that, once you go to the table and table body, then again you will get another table, right? And here you can go to the cell. Okay, so how we can go to the table's body? Okay, so first I need to go to the table body, and it will be tier 2 and it will be also table details 2. So I am navigating to here, right? So first I am going to the cell. Okay, once I reach to the cell, total cell, you can see here total cell, then I need to traverse to the table which is inner table or the nested table right here. So I am navigating to the table cell where nested table is there. Then I need to go to the again table, right? So it is highlighting the tables, again T body, right? Again TR for that inner table. So suppose in case I want to retrieve the first row, right? I need to go to the tier 1. So it is giving me the total cell. Again I need to go to the TD again cell 1 or 2, right? You can see now it is uniquely identify the data. So what's the data? 4, 5, 6. So I am going to the tables, the outer tables T body, and where my inner table is present in the cell 2, right? The row 2 and column 2. So I am going to the row 2 and column 2. Then so once I reach there, again I am going to the inner table, right? So table and again table body, and then table row and column we are giving it. So that's way you can easily identify, right, the inner tables element or cell value, right. So here you can change it, right. So what value it will be printed out in the console? Now if you want to read the inner table, so here you can see with this one, it is only that 4, 5, 6 is getting displayed, right. So here your output will be 4-5-6, so that will be your output, okay. So that's why if you want to change it, like if you want to create another variables, right, you can also create it. Suppose it variable will be tr2 and td2, right, you can select. That's why you can take it and you can print it out, right. You can identify the element and you can print it out, okay. Now let's try to with the tr1 and td2. So it will be printed 4, 5, 6 in the console. Now let's try to run the code. So here we are first going to the table, then we are going to the table body, and we are going to the table row and table cell. So row 2 column 2 where inner table present. Once I reach to the cell number row 2 column 2, then again there is the inner table is there. That is the reason, right, I am going to table again, then table body, and then table row and table column. So that's why I can identify any element within the inner table, and once the element is identified, then I can do any kind of operation. So here I want to get the text, so I am storing in some string variable, then I am printing it out, right. Now let's see and how it is behaving, how the application is running, and how the text within the inner table or the nested table is getting printed out in the console. So it will launch the browser again, it will maximize the browser, it will load the page from Guru 99, right, accessing nested table.html page. After that it will identify the first the outer tables, then it will go to the table body, table row, table cells, right, column, and then it will identify row number 1, column number 1, and again it will go to the nested tables and it will identify table body, table row 1 and column 2. That means the 4, 5, 6, and that value will be printed in your console, right. So you could see that value is printed in the console, right, 4, 5 and 6. So your code is perfectly working fine. Then now in case you want to see how many row and column is available in the inner table, then how can you go with? Now if you want to retrieve the other value, right, so here instead of that one tr1 td2 tr2 td2, so it will give you 10 11 2, so just you change the XPath here, so it will be tr2 td2. So it will give you what value? It will give you 10 11 and 12, that value it will be printed in the console, right, here. Now so that is the value you can print it out. Now again if you want to get that how many row and how many column is there in the nested table, not the outer table, it is the nested or the inner table, right, then how can you get it? So definitely I can identify the element with the help of XPath again. So I will be creating the XPath for the row. So okay, divert.find element XPath. So how can I create the XPath for the row? How many row is there in the inner table? Similar way. So that is my, you can see this is giving you 2 row, right. So that will give you the row count in the inner table, not the outer table, right. So I am navigating to the table, then table body, table and table row and table column where the inner table is present. Then I am again navigating to tables and table body and tr. That means will give me total number of row available. So that's why I can identify the XPath for identifying how many rows is available, right. So this is my XPath and this is my XPath. If I want to get the count, right, so it will be I need to use count. I need to give another bracket, then dot count. Table header, okay, let's see, I just forgot one semicolon here. I need to give semicolon, I need to give it, I need to close 2 first bracket, and then I can get the count. How many count is there for the row? Okay, so it will be find elements, not find element, right, because you are getting multiple elements. So it will be find elements, then you can press dot, you will get count method will come, right, method will come. So it will give you the integer value, right. So you can store in some integers. So integer row count inner, table. So that is the variable you can create it, right? Okay, you can see here what the problem is coming. No error now. Then you can print out, right, easily with the help of console write ln. You can print out. So it will give you value will be 2 because in our table also it will be 2. So here I can write down, right, something total row in our table are, and I can concatenate it, right? So it will be give me the 2 count. Similar way, if you want to go to the column count, right, then how can you go it? So in our row count, instead of row count, you can give the variable name as column count, right, and you can change it here. Here you can change it total column count. So column count will be also same 2, right, because the outer table, inner table, right, this is the 2 column, this is the 1 column and this is the another column. So row is, this is 1 row, right, this is 1 row and this is another row. So column, this is the 1 column and this is the another column. Okay, so if you want to get the column, so you can get any row first and then you can get the TD. So it will give you total column. You can see it is giving you total column, right? Any row, column. How many column is there? For the row 1 it is 2. So it is giving 2. If you want to go to the second row also, so it will give you same 2 column. So that's fine. For every row column number will be fixed, right? So it is giving you 2 column. So that's why you can identify with the help of XPath, right? So here I will be pressing that one. So similar way I will be getting the count and I will be storing in the string, which is column count in our table, right, and I want to print it out in the console. So here I will be identifying the inner table row 2 and column 2, that is the variable I will be identifying it. I want to print it in the console, then I want to get how many row and how many column is available for the inner table. So this is the row, right, this is the row, 1 row and this is another row, okay, and column is, this is the 1 column and this is the another column, right? So that's why it will give me the correct result. Let's try to run the code and let's see whether I am getting the inner table or nested table row 2 column 2 value, which is nothing but the 10 11 12 10 11 12, and what is the number of row and the column for the inner tables, right, which is available in the row 2 and column 2 in the outer table. So I will get the number of row and number of column count, and as well as I can get the value in the inner table, which is nothing but the row 2 and column 2 cell value. So it is trying to launch the page, and if you go to the console, you will be seeing first the value will become as 10-11-12, and then the number of row and the column count will be 2 and 2. So that will be displayed in the console. You can see, right, that is your output for the row 2 column 2 of the inner table or nested table, right? Okay, inner table are, sorry, here total number of column and total number of row. I think I have maybe okay, I have given the first cell text value, right, I did not change it, right? That is the reason it is giving you that that one 10-11-12, because I have used the variable name is first cell text, not that one. If you change it to do that one, so it will give you value as 2. Okay, so you can run it once more time to see that number of row is also coming as 2. So column is coming as 2 because column variable I have used that one, right, column in our column count in our table. So that is the reason it is giving me 2. But here row I did not use it, I have used that first cell text, so that is the reason it is coming here. Let's try to close the page and let's try to run it once more time, and let's see whether now your output is correct or not. Okay, just try once more time and definitely it will give you the correct result here. Let's try to run the code. So that's why definitely you can get the any cell value of the inner tables, right, number of row and number of column. But if you want to get the all the row wise value or all the cell wise value, then how can you do it? It's just similar like the things you have already seen in the last session, whenever you were trying to get the value from the row wise or the cell wise value from the whole tables. We need to use the for each loop, right? For the row wise we will be using for each loop, and for the cell wise data we will be using two for each loop, right? So one is the outer for each and one is the inner for each, through which we can get the data of the inner tables above or the of cell level as well. So here it will give you the correct result. So first the value and then number of row and number of column. You can see both are coming as 2 and 2. So my code is absolutely working fine. This is the inner table value, it is being displayed. Now say I want to get the cell wise detail, right? So then how can I get it, right? So let's comment out this code, all the code here. Then how we'll be getting it, right, with the help of the for each loop, right? So first I will be identifying the body, table body. So definitely same way I will be identifying till the table body, right? So that will give me the inner table view. You can see the whole inner table is getting highlighted, right? So I will be getting first the XPath of the inner table, right? So I will be storing in some web element. Okay, so I will be storing in some web element, say web element, and the name I am giving is inner table, right? And then find element by XPath, and that XPath I am changing it. So it will be my inner table XPath. So first I am going to the outer table, I am going to the outer table body, then table row and table column where the inner table is present. Then within that particular row and column or cell, I am trying to go to the inner table with the help of table and table body. So it is identifying whole inner table, right? So I am able to get the inner tables, right, details, and storing it the inner table variables with the help of IOElement class, right? Then within the inner table, if you want to get that how many row is available, right, total rows, right, then I can get everything with the help of that variables, right, dot find elements again, because it is multiple elements. Here I can use the tag name by dot tag name. What will be the tag name? Is table tr, right, table row, right? So that tag name will be tr. With the help of that tag name I can get it, right? So these are the will give you, because find elements, so that it will give you the list of row. So I can store in some I list, and definitely the type will be web IO element. Right, that's why I can store it, and definitely here I need to give some variable called inner table rows. That is my variable name. Okay, I list, and I need to give the caps later. I think now I web w will be caps. Okay, now error message gone. So I will be taking the inner table variables where I am storing the inner table, and then find elements with the help of tag name tr. I am getting all the inner tables row and storing it in the IO element I list web. Okay. Then I can use a for each loop, right? So it will be for each. Here I need to create another variable. Suppose say rows. Right, here you need to give in, and you need to give the old variable. So what is the old web return type? IO element, right? So I need to give the similar return type for the new variable. So that is the concept for the inner for each loop. So definitely that will be covered in the upcoming session for the CS. Then I can print out, right, in the console. So in the console dot println, right, I can print out with the help of text method of text of the row wise data. So it will be new variable, right, then got text, and I need to call the text method. So dot text, so I can get the text in the inner table row wise. Let's save the code. So whatever code I have written, so it will, instead of each row wise, I want to get the inner tables row wise value. So first I am identifying the inner tables only with the help of XPath, and I am storing in the inner table variables, right? Then with the help of inner table variables, with the help of find elements, tag name is tr means table, I am storing all the tables, all the row wise value in the I list, and its type is the IO element. And then I am using an for each loop I am creating a new variable, so in is the old variable and return type should be IO element, and I am printing it, that new variable and every text, right. So that will give me the row wise value of the inner table. Let's try to run it and let's see in the console the value, all the row wise value is getting printed or not. So it will try to open the browser first, it will maximize the browser, it will try to load the page. Once the page is fully loaded, it will go to the outer table first. After that, it will go to the cells tier 2 and TD2 where inner table is present, and then again inner table it will go to the inner table. Then it will identify that how many row is there. After that, with the help of for each loop, right, it will print the row wise value, not the cell wise, row wise value. So for row 1, 2 value will be there, and you can see here, right, for row 1 2 value and column 1 2 value. So that's why it will print out you the row wise value of the inner table. Now say if you want to get the total cell wise value of the inner table, right, then how can you get it? So here we already went to the row wise, means we have already used an outer for each loop. So if you want to go to the cell wise, right, so it is a two dimensional matrix, right, so you have to use two for loop or two for each loop. So within the for each loop you need to go to the other for each loop, so that only cell wise will be displayed, right, because one for each loop it will give you the one dimensional, means row wise. But if you want to go row and column, so you have to use two for each loop. So one for each loop will be inside the for each loop or the nested for each loop, right. Here again, with the help of that reference, right, of the new variable which is the rows variable here for the inner table, dot find elements again, and you need to use by tag name, by dot tag name. So what is the tag name for the table's row or the column? It will be TD, instead of TR it will be TD. So that's why you can get that how many table column is there, right. So it will give you the cell value, right. So here I need to store it again, some list IO element, IO element inner table column or cells. This is the new variable. Now you can see error message gone. Then again I will be using a for each loop, right, inside the for each loop where I can get the cell wise value. So for each again, and here I need to close with second bracket. So here I need to type will be again IO element. Here I can give new variable called cells, and I need to use the old variable here, right. Now what can I print it out? I can print it out the cells dot text. So it will give me the cell wise value. So new variable and then text. Okay. So that's why I can go to the cell wise of the inner table. So what I am doing? First I am going to the inner table. So if you want to go to the inner table, I need to go to the outer table first. Then again we need to go to the table and table body. So that's why I am going to the inner table. Okay. So that is my inner table. So that is highlighting whole table. Then if I want to go to the row, so I will need to use the tag name TR, then I can go to the row. Here I will be using a for each loop, so I can go to the row and I can go to the details of the row wise. If I go to the column here, so it will be TD, nothing but the TD. Under the TR you can see TD is there. So I need to go to the rows, new rows, whatever we are using in the for each loop, and then with the help of find element by tag name TD, I am getting all the details of the cells. Then again I am using each and for loop, for each loop or advanced again for loop I can use it also, or advanced for each loop or for loop, right, where I am creating a new variable called cells. Then it is giving me all the cells value, and I want to print the cells text. So that's why I can get the value of all the cells level. Instead of the row wise, I will be getting the value for each and every cells, whatever is available in the inner table or nested table. So it will again try to launch the page after maximizing the browser. Once the page is fully loaded, guru99.com, accessing nested table.html, it will identify that cell where inner table or nested table is there. Then it will try to get the cell's value, right, with the help of 2 for each loop, and then it will print in the console. You can see the first cell value, second cell value, third cell value, and fourth cell value, right? So this is the fourth thing is coming, which is nothing but the cell value from the inner table. So that's why you can handle the tables inside the table. So definitely first you need to access the outer table with the help of table, tbody, tr and td, and then in which tr and td inner table is there, first you need to access with the help of again another table and table body. Then you can go to the tables, then you can access with the help of tag name tr, you can access all the rows, and if you want to go to the td or the table cells, then you need to use again the td, right? So definitely XPath is the best way to identify the element from the table or table row or table cell value, and inner table or nested table is nothing but the table inside the table. Okay, so that's why you can get all the required detail. You can identify a particular cell value of the inner tables, right? You can get to know how many number of rows and columns is available in the inner table, and you can print out all the row wise value of the inner table. You can print out the cell wise value of the inner table. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Thank you.